What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. We're up here today, another day, Casket's Fab Shop on YouTube, and Casket Customs here in the house. So, we wrapped up the 6.6, came out wicked. Mr. Larry loved the car, grandson loved the car, and that's all that matters, right? So today, or this video I should say, we're on this 66 Mustang. I was always thinking it was a 67. Apparently it's a 66. Stinky Pinky. We got the Pepto Flamingo. We got the stomach ache. I don't know what you call it. So, either way, this is what's in store. The owner of this car I've never met. I'm doing this third party. So, I guess the guy that I know, it's his friend's car, friend's wife's car. Apparently they built this car and it was completely done. When I saw this thing, it was completely together. They had LED lights on it. It was all intact. Dakota digital gauges. I mean, they had this thing pretty nice. You know, I'm not a fan of the color of it, but the car itself was nice. The engine, it's not in the best looking condition, but I guess it runs and drives. Obviously it drives because they had it finished and they took it out for a little putt, and guess what happened? New Mexico. Bam! Someone freaking took them out. Yeah, sometimes it's probably better I don't drive my cars. But, so anyways, what happened is someone hit them. They went and they put the car, you know, they got all the parts for it, took it to my buddy. My buddy started to put new gauges. He put a whole new suspension back underneath it because everything was messed up. They mocked up these fenders and got all the parts they needed. And then the lady says, I don't want it pink anymore. That's where he called me. Hey, bro, you think you can paint this car for me? So, yep, I'm going to paint it for him. Octane red is the color she wants, and she's stuck on that specific color. But I was like, all right, cool. So I went ahead and looked up the paint and everything. I was getting ready to order it. Thank God I didn't, because she wants it suede. And I was like, damn, dude. She wants it satin. So I was like, all right, well, I was planning on doing a base clear, you know, shiny, but she wants a suede, so that threw me for a loop, but whatever, it'll get done. So I was trying to get her to pick a hot rod flats color, that way just a single stage, bam, see you out the door, right? Well, I can't find that octane red in a suede. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can just mix it single stage for me at the shop, but I might do that. I gotta go down to the paint shop and look, but the paint that I've been looking at, I don't remember if it's on Paint Headquarters or something, or the Spray Source, one of those two. And for that exact color, I think I'm gonna have to, apparently it's sprayed over white. So for one, I'm going to need a white sealer. And not only that, is I'm going to need to just buy the paint. And then I'll just go down to the shop and I'll buy me some satin clear. I actually have some. I did a car a while back. It's been a while. I don't even remember what that... Yeah, I think I threw it away. I think I was completely out of it anyway, but it's just regular urethane clear. Yeah, I think I'm out. But I did a car with that big old Delta 88 boat land yacht, and I did it white with a metallic blue top, and the top was shiny, but the car was itself suede satin. So I've sprayed this stuff before. It's no different than painting like Phil's truck, you know, the hot rod flats. But I don't know. I'll figure out the paint situation when I get there. All I know is the can has to say Octane Red on it. And as I look it up, it calls to spray it over a white base coat. Because that Octane Red's pretty deep, so I'd imagine if you spray it over a darker sealer like I did on Phil's truck, it's going to come out dark. So, seeing those cars on the road, the Challengers and the Chargers, when you pass by, they're like a deep blood red. So, yeah, definitely needs to probably be sprayed over white. So, anyways, so what we're going to do today, getting started out here, is we are going to take these fenders off and we need to mock up both doors because both doors do not align correctly. This sticks out, which it might just be the fender. It's probably the fender. Of course, the doors are hitting. They're chipped. The body gaps are shit. This sits too high and too far in. The door itself on the top needs to be twisted this way because the bottom sits good, but the top is in up here. We're gonna get this worked out. I gotta go through and weld up all these holes on the bottom, both sides, and once the doors are intact and lined up, then we'll work on putting these fenders back on. And we'll tweak them and get them to fit correctly. This, you can tell, is going to be a problem already because look at the gap here. Big old gap. Que culo. And then up here, it gets all tight. Like my culo. and then up here, it's all fucked up. I don't know. So, we're going to take these fenders off and go from there. Body work on this car is very minimal, other than this mess up here. The fenders look to be in pretty decent shape. They're brand new, so we'll see what we gotta do. You guys are up in El Paso, up in that area. There's a little strip mall, and there's a spot called Nick's store. I talked to the guy there, Chris, that works there. I don't know if he's the owner. I think he is. Pretty sure he is. But why it's called Nick's, I have no idea. But I'm not sure. I've never asked him. But I talk to him every time I go in there. Cool dude. He wants me to do a 62 Impala for him. So I'll be working that out with him later on. But his store is so cool. He's always got all kinds of bar stuff and vintage stuff in there. Every time I go there, I have to buy something. The first thing I do is walk in and look at the neons because they're everywhere. So as I walked in this time, I scored 2. Only 2, guys. So I only bought 2 today. I bought those ones. Let me pick this mess up here. I got bolts on the floor that should be there. I don't know where they come from. These are what I bought. Old school ice house. And this one is the Cochino model. You know, wax on, wax off. So you got on the wax on part, you got Danielson. On the wax off part, you got Pee Wee Herman. But the bottle on the top opens and closes, so it closes and then it spews. The little wax comes off of it. It's a Maker's Mark bottle is what it is. But I thought it was funny because it's kind of, if you look at it a different way and you got a dirty mind like I do, that's what I saw and I thought it was hilarious. But either way, ice house, I love it. It's got the trees, you know, the little house and everything. So I think this one might need some work because the red barely lights up. But a good thing is my neighbor fixes neons. That, by the way, it's not a neon, it's an LED. But you can turn on the bottom so it doesn't flash and it's just the bottle. Or you could turn it on where it stays wax on and you can turn it on where it stays wax off. Or you can make it do its cochino mode. I thought it was cool. I need to hang these guys. So we'll get to that too. Because I still have my Miller Lite one I got to hang over here. And my fish and chips that I got to rehang. So I may hang these later, but for right now, let's get into it. Before we start, I'd like to show you the new tool. Boom. I have been wanting this little DeValbus Luna 2 for so long, and it comes with two tips. One's to spray solids and clears, and the other is to spray metallics and candies. Love these little guns. I've always wanted one. I've never had one, not like that. But I've always wanted a small little gun, so I got it. Alright, so I'm going to kick you on here, and we're going to get started on removing these stupid fenders. Alright, what we got here? What we got here today? Oh, there's the first dent. Chunk. God, every time I look at this engine, it just hurts. It's not that it's small or that it's a Ford. It's that it looks like shit. This thing just needs some love. Like, personally, I'm one of those guys that needs to open up a hood, and the engine has to be nice. It doesn't take much when you're putting a car together to just take the whole front clip off, strip the engine, even if you don't want to take the damn thing out. You know, paint the block and clean the engine and make it look nice. I don't know, some people just want the, oh, everybody look at me. Oh, everybody look at me. Oh, everybody look at me. Yeah. I guess so. Whatever floats your boat, hopefully your boat don't sink. But I'm an engine guy, and that's just the way I like to do things. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that it would have been really cool to just build this car the right way. Just me. Well, ran into the first set of problems. So the passenger side door, money, flush top, gap consistent top and bottom, all lined out. This little gap here looks pretty good. It opens and doesn't sag, stays level. Everything's good, right? Look at these. Notice. All right, look at this. Cherry flush paneling. All right, now let's go to the other side. Notice anything wrong? So I was trying to close the door, and I lined it up and it wouldn't close. Look at the metal. The screws are there, but the metal broke off. And they had a big old washer on this bottom one trying to mask it. So now, Daddy's gonna have to freaking weld some metal in here and fix this, because this thing, the whole mechanism was like falling in, and it wasn't falling enough out to grab the door. This is the bonus parts that nobody tells you. You think, I'm gonna just adjust these doors real quick and we'll be good to go. No, now I gotta fix doors. Alright guys, so this is where we're at. A couple minutes later, I ground those down a little bit. I'm gonna pound them flush because they're bent in, of course. And then I'm gonna weld these pieces back in. Problem is, this one's missing the part. I found these, and there you go. So I'm probably going to wallow that hole a little bit out more and sink this in a little bit and then weld it in. I thought about doing the same to those, but just to make... So this one was so freaking messed up. I welded a piece in there and it still didn't work. It just burned right through. So I wallowed these out so they're sunk. This one here, I couldn't really sink it. So I'm gonna find me a bigger headed screw with this. That's the right screw, because they got 3 different screws. I need to find some right screws for it, but it works and it closes. And look at my door. The gap is, yep, it's consistent. It's flush on top. I got it side to side. The bottom needs to come out just a little bit right here. Is this body line? Seems a little bit high on the door, but it's straight here. Close enough for me. There's been some body work here. And that's exactly why that's like that. You can see that right there where there was some Bondo or something. But I can tap this door in and pull this piece out, tap the door in, that should lower that, and then we'll start working on the bottom. Good progress today so far. Fenders are off. Both doors are aligned. They close. They're gapped correctly. So let me weld up those parts on the bottom. And then from that, this door closes so much better. You know what it just feels like on this door? The hinges just seem more weak, like loose. This one is, they're tight. The hinges are tight. They just probably need some grease. Just a lot tighter. But it closes solid and it doesn't bind. Fuck it. That's the way it's staying. Alright, I'm going to take a little break. Go inside and visit with my kid. I haven't seen her all day. And she just got home. So, yeah. We're going to do that for now. And we'll get back at it here in a little bit. I'll kick you on when I come back out here to start welding up those bottom pieces. And then we'll start aligning these fenders. Me and cousin Bobo are here today. Bobo showed up. He was MIA forever. He's back in the game. Here we are. Working on the Stinky Pinky. Or the Pepto Flamingo. We've already blocked down this whole side, the trunk. We still got some areas to go back there. Corporate little corners. Got to fix a couple little weird spots in the paint that were chipping and stuff. But I'm working on fitting this fender. Got the doors lined up pretty good. We're going to fit the fenders today. Probably the front cowl. Finish blocking this out. And if I get these fenders fitted, I'm going to pull off the doors and the fenders, and we'll start getting the inside portions of this thing prepped out. Door jambs, trunk jam, under the hood. We'll take the hood and the trunk, sand those, and then I'll go get some paint and we'll start laying some of this stuff out. I was having to line stuff up like these weren't lined up. These corners, they didn't fit right. So now I got those fitting better, both sides. So that's where we are, guys. We're gonna keep going. So let's see how much we can get accomplished today. Alright, fellas, so we got everything pretty much lined up. I need to work on these a little bit more and drill the holes for that upper grill piece. Got the valance all banged out and fixed and lined up. The bottom lower valance lined up and square. Everything kind of works the best. I got these lines up here. They're not perfect right here, but I might run another bolt in there to tighten it more, because this sheet metal is really skinny and really shitty. But here it is. I broke a bolt off in here, so when we take this fender off, I need to pull that clip out, and then I can pull this fender further so the gap is correct. And then the hood's also hitting this here, so that's got to go down a little bit. But the fender here's lined up pretty decent. This fender needs to be shimmed up just a little bit because the body line's off right here. It's weird, the body line is cherry on the bottom, but on the top, it's off. It's weird. It's these fenders are just aftermarket, so you gotta find that sweet spot. But everything's pretty much good. All the bottom rocker, I welded in. The whole car is blocked on this side, blocked on the trunk, blocked in the back. I am going to remove the rear roll pan, and I didn't put those sheet metal screws in it, just so y'all know. Was not me. I got it like this, so I might put better screws in this thing with lock washers. But I do need to take that off so I can spray behind it. The trunk is already sanded on the inside. I had to realign these because they were put on like a dog's ass. So all that's realigned. Other than that, this one too, this one needs to come over just a little bit on the inside. But the outside is cherry, so I might have to just grind that lip a little bit. But other than that... Now it's time for us to kind of start fixing the little chips and the little, like here was a crack in the paint. Well, I don't think it was in the paint. It was in the paint because it was peeling, and there was some peeling going on up here. So I need to feather edge those deep and then re-skim them here on the doors. The chips, the doors open and close. Everything is within tolerance to gapped and cherry, you know. So that's where we are so far. This fender does look a little tight again on the bottom. I need to pull it out and forward just a little bit. Maybe I just need to pick up the front. Yeah, we're kind of just going and loosening and tightening, but I mean, this is where we are. So I think we're gonna call it a day because it's very hot on this side of the shop when the sun beats in here. So tomorrow we're gonna sand the rest of this hood, the rest of the cowl, the dash, the other door, and then that door jamb on the driver's side is almost done sanded. So we gotta sand the hood and this, and then these parts up front. We'll buzz them all down and get them prepped. But starting to look like a car, and it's starting to line up pretty fair. It's not perfect, but it works. So that's where we are. We worked all morning, and we got a lot done. But when the sun gets to the west side, it gets hot in here. And we're going to call it a day for now. And we're going to go down to Poco Loco because they just stocked it a couple days ago. And we're going to throw the rods in for a little bit and just fish. Just to do something different for a little couple hours. So, other than that, guys, I'll hit you back on here in the morning. Alright fellas, we up in here again today, making progress. The Pepto Flamingo is sanded down. I got a few more spots to clean up here with the Bondo glass that I put on over some of the welding. And we got to finish sanding the dashboard. But other than that, top of the dash is sanded, the inner all the inner of the doors are sanded. All we got to do is pop the doors off, and we're going to sand underneath those and the rest of the jambs. And we're pretty much ready to go. Fixing some little edges here. All the stuff that I welded, I just put some Bondo glass on it. I'll sand all that pretty much all the way off almost. Then I'll use a light skim like that stuff. I got to re-drill these holes. These are really bent up. I hate when you see the mirror pieces bent. I always fix them. Personal preference, I guess. Doesn't matter. As soon as you put the screws in, they're going to do it again. But that's where we're at, guys. Saturday, and I'm hoping that by the end of the day we'll have all this stuff sanded and spot primed, those fenders and primer, and pretty much we're ready for paint, to start painting stuff. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna get to it, and I'll kick you guys back on here on the next step. Alright, my brothers, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, we have just about reached the end of this video. I'm going to make a part 2 only because I will wrap the rest of this up and we'll get this puppy in some paint and we'll deliver it just like the 66 Impala. So, little update of where I left off before we go. All this stuff is all in together, bolted in. I got the bolts in. This pan is done. It needs a little spot prime here and there. Body's done. Of course, all these little pieces here are going to get epoxied. And high build, these little spots that I sanded, that anything that had to be sanded more than the pink is going to get epoxy and high build. And then I'll wet sand that out. Other than that, the valance in the front, I pounded it all out, full metal finish. I just have this little spot left here on the top. And then right in here was a little wavy, and I just decided to block it out with some mud. And then just to make it crisp clean, after I smacked all these flat, I went ahead and just put some glaze on them. Just to smooth it out, just for my own, I don't know why, but usually all of it comes right back off when you sand it. But I just literally have this little front here on this side, and this top here I've already started working on smacking all the dents out. That side you can see came out really good. These are flat, but I'm gonna probably just high build this whole thing. Since I gotta high build so much of it, I'm just gonna high build the whole thing and just reblock it. But I just wanted to metal finish it instead of just putting a bunch of mud on it, so that's what I was doing. Fenders are ready to go, minus I just need to scuff in here and around this front piece before I primer them. Lay some epoxy first, probably 2 coats of epoxy, and then probably like 2 coats of high build. Then I'll block them flat and wet sand the rest of the stuff out that we did, and we're ready to go. The hood and the doors, are outside, and those are done. They're ready to go. The only thing on one door, the one that I had to repair, I got a block sand where I skimmed those with glaze. And that's it, guys. The paint is ordered and on the way. And that's where we're at. So that is going to be a wrap for this video. I'm sad. My ice house light's not working anymore. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I knew it was going to go out, but it's all good. I'll give it to the neighbor to fix it. So that's a wrap for this one, guys. Stay tuned for part 2 where we paint this thing octane red with a suede clear on it and make a delivery. So other than that, I want to thank all you guys that has been subscribing to me, and for all the newcomers, stick around. I got a lot of stuff to build, and there's always going to be something to put on my channel. I try to post every week, if not 2 weeks, but for the most part, I try to keep up with this. You know, it's not easy, but I do it. So with that being said, guys, you guys have a good day, and we'll hit you up here on the next video. Peace.